It is bright, it is sunny, but the mood certainly is not that, being a West Ham fan today, my word. Yeah, a lot to talk about, obviously, with Mohammed Kudus. West Ham have accepted a £54.5 million offer from Spurs, with the player set to have a medical today before he signs a 6-year contract. This is a really bad day for West Ham. Let's make no mistake. This is very, very disappointing in terms of this football club and how we're being run. It's pretty shameful, actually. I think that the club's ownership have got a lot to answer for here. I want to talk about a few things about this. There's a few angles, isn't there, to talk about. I think, firstly, the deal itself, I think West Ham have embarrassed themselves, really, of how we've handled this. I think that West Ham have handled it badly throughout, not just dealing with Tottenham. This constant shouting from the rooftops that we're skint. I think you're just inviting low bids. You're just inviting, you're showing the world how desperate you are. I don't know what it is with our football club where they just seem so hell-bent on announcing our financial situation to everybody, because I don't ever see other clubs, many clubs doing it. It seems to be West Ham that are just continually putting in the media how skint we are. This is what you're going to get. So when Daniel Levy came along, he just thought, well, he could smell, taste blood. He's thinking, well, I can lowball you and you're going to have to accept it because I know how skint you are because you keep telling everybody. And it's frustrating because, of course, West Ham as well have embarrassed themselves further by rejecting a move from Spurs less than a week ago, making it clear, not interested. 50 plus £5 million. No, we're having a laugh, get real, and all this kind of stuff. And then they put a few more million quid on the table, and we've gone, all right, then we accept it. It's embarrassing. It is really embarrassing, and it's shameful from our owners who today have got a lot to answer for, I think. And it's not just because of Kadou. I'm talking about the general finances of the club. Karen Brady weren't long ago banging on about saying, this is our second longest stint in the Premier League, and yeah, that's great. Where's the money then? Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not being rude. We've had all this TV revenue. You moved stadium, didn't you, to rent this one? Remember that what we did? That we sold that stadium, our beloved home, to move to this other one to now rent a stadium. We've sold Declan Rice for £105 million a couple of years ago, but yet we're skint. We're completely skint. It's embarrassing. This is on your watch. Yeah, very, very disappointing, and this is what you get out of it with West Ham. This is the situation we're in, and the reality is we had no other options. That's the problem, because this bidding war that West Ham were hoping was going to happen for Mohammed Kudus just didn't materialise. The clubs weren't interested. Arsenal turned their attention elsewhere. Liverpool have shown no interest at all, even though that was his understood to be his preferred move. That's where he wanted to go, but Liverpool weren't interested. You've got Chelsea that were rumoured to be coming in and made inquiries, but again, there's nothing concrete come forward from them. And West Ham have rolled over. I mean, the bit that really gets my back up as well with this is the fact that West Ham have accepted this offer from Spurs, clearly desperate for the money, right? But we could have got around that problem ourselves. West Ham could have just operated like Aston Villa have done and like Chelsea have done. You could have sold your women's team to yourself. You could have injected money into the football club by buying shares. We could have even just plugged it, chucked in 50 million quid, and then cracked on with our transfer business. Then when Levy rocks up saying, "Here's my best offer," I just say, "Well, we're in no rush, mate. You're not meeting our valuation to do one." It's really poor, really, really poor. And West Ham have admitted it. West Ham have actually, have said in the official line. I haven't got the paper, notes in front of me here, but they've actually turned around and said it's a bad deal. It's not a good deal for the club. They're aware of it, because we're that desperate that we're accepting bad deals, and accepting bad deals on top of it from Tottenham Hotspur. A big rival. It's not a good look. Very, very disappointed that we've gone down this route so quickly. I thought that we were going to hold out. I thought West Ham were, when we knocked those bids back and said to get real, I thought we were going to hold out. I really thought we were going to wait for Chelsea. I thought, unless Chelsea have obviously advised that they're not interested. But that being said, I still would have worked hard, and we should have been tougher on Kadus. I've been a bit critical of him. I'm going to turn to Kadus now. I've been a little bit critical because of obviously deciding that he only wanted to go to Spurs. I know some people have said to me and said, well, that's West Ham's spin saying that, but I don't believe that's the case. I think he does. I think he was sold the Spurs move and he wants to go there. I've got no real problem with that, really. I've got to be honest. I mean, I don't like the fact that I don't like it, right? But the more that now I've slept on it more, I sort of realise, well, at the end of the day, he's not a West Ham lad, and this is always going to be the case. And make no mistake, right? This is the same for Spurs. He is no way going to this club thinking this is my final move in my career. Not a chance. He's a stepping stone player. He'd be looking at Spurs thinking, well, if I can do well for a couple of years here, I might get my move to a Man City or a Barcelona or something like that. That'll be his thinking. Make no mistake about that. And that's what he did with West Ham. He came to West Ham to get to the Champions League, and he's got it. That's what he's done. And in doing so, also he ain't got to move. You know, he stays in London, and he's thinking brilliant. You know, so West Ham have took Kadou on with this sell-on clause, knowing that the player had no desire for long-term commitment to West Ham. He had none at all. He never came to West Ham and sort of embraced the football club in terms of its culture and wanting to become a West Ham fan. He came to do a job. And let's get it straight. Last season he was dreadful. You know, in Kadus' standards he was very poor. And I know people will say, well, we had a bad season and you can't blame him for that. I don't blame him at all, but I'm just saying that he weren't very good. And I've always been resigned to the fact that he was going anyway, and I wasn't too bothered about him going, in truth be known, thinking that we were going to be getting about 65, 70 million quid for him. And also, I didn't think we'd be sending him to Tottenham. So it's a double whammy. It's a bad day for West Ham, let's make no mistake about it. But there is the other side of this now, which we need to sort of, you know, do our best to do now, which isn't easy considering what we're about to go through, because we've now got to watch Kadus paraded around in a Spurs shirt and all that stuff, and you're going to get stick from Spurs fans. That's all coming, we know that, and it's happening now. But there is a bigger picture, of course, and that is this season. Just because of what's happened doesn't take away from the enormity of what we're going through in this transfer window and how important it is. And Graham Potter, you know, this ain't down to him. This ain't down to Graham Potter or down to Carl McCauley. They're not to blame for all of this at all. They need supporting now, and we need to crack on and get our window doing. And that's the only way West Ham are going to get round this, I tell you. These owners, the only way to get round this now is they fully go and back this manager. Go out and get the players that he wants to get in, get the top targets over the line, and we go on and we have a half-decent season. Well, I hope to have a good season. I'm still not, you know, in that mindset of, we're going to get relegated. I'm not there, but my word, it's a big window now. And look, there's no excuses now. The club have made taken a big move here, and they know how infuriated the fans are going to be over the fact we're selling to Spurs. But it's now a case of them now keep cracking on and showing the fact they're going to support the manager. It's a bad day. I'm really, really disappointed. Did not want to see Kadus go to Spurs. It's been on the cards for a while, but I was really hoping West Ham would hold firm and be able to get some other bids in. But let's be honest, West Ham are just absolutely crap at selling players. We are absolutely crap at it. We've never been good at it. We don't know what to do. We just seem to panic. We don't know what we're doing. It's really disappointing, and we've been bullied here by Daniel Levy, who's just mugged us off. And there we go. Another wonderful day under the ownership of David Sullivan, Karen Brady and co. Just seem to go from one disaster to the next at this football club. And my word, how we long for them to be gone. But anyway, look, let's hope that this kickstarts our transfer window. At least that's the silver line is we start seeing our movement. We get El Hajmatic Diouf over the line, which we will need to get done, and we start seeing some solid movements now. I mean, look, at the end of the day, we've had some good links in terms of the players that we're really interested in. I want to see us firm it up now and get cracking on this window. I'll come back hopefully soon with a better transfer update. But Mohammed Kudus to Spurs, well, another one we now need to endure. Great, come on, you ones.